On the tail of the Trump indictment, where he was found guilty on all 34 counts of the indictment of falsifying business records, it would be disingenuous to not mention that Hunter Biden is also facing his legal issues. To which end, we're going to discuss the potential fallout of the Hunter Biden criminal trials. And as the headline so aptly suggests, is it karma or political prosecution? Voters weigh in. So, federal criminal charges brought against Hunter Biden in Delaware and California have Americans divided along familiar partisan lines. But voters are unsurprised and in some cases pleased to see President Joe Biden standing by his adult son as he fights to avoid prison time. That's the main takeaway from a series of interviews USA Today conducted as Hunter Biden prepares to stand trial on Monday for lying about his drug use to buy a gun. The case will go before a Wilmington, Delaware jury only a few weeks before Biden squares off with Republican presumptive nominee Donald Trump in their first presidential debate in Atlanta. And I'm sure there's more to go on. So, Hunter Biden is just as an influential political figure as Trump or Joe Biden himself, right? What happens to Hunter Biden will impact the Biden's administration's campaign for the presidency, just as any fallout from the 34 convictions of falsifying business documentation will follow Donald Trump through to the end of the race, especially if he becomes the Republican nominee. So I think it is fair to bring this up, and I think it is fair to discuss it. I wasn't quite aware of what the charges were in this case, but as it turns out, he lied about his drug use to obtain a gun. Why? Who knows? Who cares? We're about to find out anyway. But the fact of the matter is, yet another powerful person whose position and status made them feel as though they were above the law. And because of that, this trial has the same ramifications as Trump and his campaign back in 2017 thought they were above the law with regards to falsifying business documentation. On that note, I do believe it is fair if Hunter Biden is found guilty, he should also face jail time and actual punishment, not house arrest and not probation. We cannot have a criminal justice system that is supposed to be equal for all when the powerful and the wealthy get the kid gloves, the slaps on the wrist, and told to be on house arrest in their mech mansions while still having full control over their assets and their way of life, when citizens like you and me will more than likely get sent to jail, losing our livelihoods, losing our homes, losing our jobs, and of course devastating our families, and especially if they're relying upon us. So for me, personally, I think this is par for the course. I think this is fair. I think the fact that Hunter Biden is facing equal scrutiny and equal potential justice under the law is setting a fair stage. Now, many would argue, well, it's not like Joe Biden's getting charged. Well, he should be. There are numerous entities who are trying to file charges of genocide, aiding and abetting against Joe Biden. And I will stand here unequivocally and agree that this should happen. Joe Biden should face charges. He should face trial. And in my opinion, based on the circumstances and the material evidence of giving Israel arms and money without condemning them or holding them accountable or threatening any sort of sanction or negative impact for their actions since October 7, is tantamount to aiding and abetting and directly contributing to genocide. And it is my hope and desire that a court will finally show that. Until then, this is what we got. And we will see how this unfolds.